Forgiveness is a choice that you can make so you can heal, so you can fulfill God's purpose for your life. Often when people hurt us, whether they've cheated on us, abandoned us, abused us, hurt someone that we love, whatever the case may be, we feel like revenge is the best medicine, right? We feel like revenge will make us feel better and it will hurt the other person. But in reality, revenge is the worst thing that you can do. Revenge makes you no better and no different from the one that caused you pain. And I know that you don't want to be like that person that hurt you. You don't want to abuse someone because you've been abused. You don't want to cheat on someone because you've been cheated on. A lot of people feel that revenge will make it all better, but it doesn't. Revenge, bitterness, unforgiveness can make you spiritually sick. You can become sick in your mind, in your soul, in your heart, your spirit. So I knew someone who dealt with unforgiveness, and they landed themselves literally in prison. I knew them in high school, and honestly, God gave them so many great talents. They were a writer, a poet, they were funny, and they were really athletic. However, some things had happened to them in their life that, they were not right. Let's just be honest. When people hurt us, right, it's not right. This person, didn't have their parents in their lives consistently. Both of their parents were on drugs for a long time, and it really broke their heart. It really made them sad, and it really made them angry. However, what they did not realize was that holding on to that anger really messed up their life, where it landed them in prison. And even after they went to prison, they still didn't see what was going on was not making them strong, but making them weak. I remember them saying, even after they had been in prison for a while, that anger helped them survive as a child, and anger helps them survive as an adult. Now, this person was physically in prison and still did not see that holding on to their anger and not forgiving the people that hurt them was messing their life up. God had a plan for them, but they couldn't see it. And a lot of us do the same thing when we don't forgive. Now, we may not end up in a physical prison, but we end up in a spiritual prison, in a mental prison. I also came across this guy who had gone through some tough times in life as well. He actually spoke at my college about forgiveness, and it was just one of the most powerful things I've ever heard. Now, I'm going to try and summarize it the best that I can. Basically, this guy had been abused by his father, and his father was also an alcoholic. So in turn, this guy became angry, and he abused drugs, he abused alcohol, he went in and out of jail, and then he ended up becoming an abuser as well. He abused his kids, and he abused his wife. And one day, he realized that he needed help. So he sought out a counselor. He went to this counselor for years, and he told us that the counselor asked him almost every time in every session, when are you going to forgive your father? Now, the guy who was speaking to us told us that for the longest time he thought the counselor was crazy. He would tell the counselor, now why would I forgive a man that hurt me so bad? What he wasn't realizing is that he became just like his father. His father abused him, and he, in turn, abused his children and his wife. But he said that one day it clicked with him, and he knew that in order to move on, in order to heal, in order to fulfill the purpose that God had for him, He needed to forgive his father. So he did. He told his counselor. He even went to his father and had a conversation with him. And what he learned was that his father had also been abused by his own father. So what was going on was a generational curse. His father had abused him because his father had been abused by his grandfather. And it was just a cycle. It was just a cycle. It continued and continued. And so many of us don't see it, that not forgiving is holding on to the pain, and in turn causing pain towards others. Now, unforgiveness doesn't always mean you're going to abuse somebody, but maybe you're abusing drugs. Maybe you're depressed all the time. Maybe you can't have a good relationship. Maybe you're overeating. Unforgiveness can affect you in so many ways. Maybe you have a mental illness because of it. But this is why I am doing this video, because maybe that's you who's watching right now. Maybe that's you who needs this. We all go through hard times. We all suffer pain. But we have to forgive. There's always going to be a time in life where people are going to hurt us, and we just have to make that choice to forgive. There's going to be people to bless us, and then there's going to be people that will hurt us. But we have to keep moving forward. We have to forgive them in order to fulfill the purpose God has for us. So I hope I'm making my point clear. Forgiveness is not a weakness, it's a strength. I don't want you to end up like the person that hurt you. I want to see you happy and in God's plan for your life. Another thing that I wanted to make clear is that forgiveness does not mean that you have to reconcile and stay in a relationship with the person that has hurt you. That's between you and God and that person. Sometimes it is the best thing to stay in a relationship with them, but other times the best thing to do is to walk away. But if you walk away and you hold on to forgiveness, then you can still be in misery. A lot of people think that forgiving means that you have to stay married to a person or stay in a friendship or stay around that family member, but that doesn't mean that. It means being at peace. And I would even encourage you, especially if you're a believer, to pray for the one that hurt you. Because wouldn't it be awesome if that person changed? One point that I wanted to bring up was the fact that sometimes those that hurt us realize what they've done, and then they change and become better people. But we can get stuck in being angry at them. So then we're really the ones stuck and not them. They move on. They go on into the purpose that God had for them, like that guy that spoke at my college, right? So today, forgive, let it go, be at peace, pray for them.